Would I get on Twitter or no?
No. It's fun.
Here comes Corey against Mike Richter. Saved by Richter! What a save by Mike Richter to stop. Messier cuts in, still with the puck. Nice pass to Zubov. Zubov feeds Link. Link scores! The waiting is over. The New York Rangers are the Stanley Cup champions. And this one will last a lifetime.
You're listening to the Two Guys, One Cup podcast with your hosts, Sean and Rob.
Well, we're united, and it feels so shitty. Watching plenty of playoff hockey, and the Rangers are not one of the participants, though we do have some former Rangers around the league, so that's been a little bit fun to see. But we are finally live here, Sean and Rock together, not individuals. Where neither one of us made it onto the Artemis and flew up to the moon here. We are both live on Long Island, ready to give you our thoughts on the season and the offseason that is coming up here. I tried a Francesa lead in. It sucked. Rock, how's it going, bud?
What's up, my friend? It's been far too long. It's just nice being with you. You and I mostly talk every day, but seeing you and in this environment is nice. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get going here. And this is like I texted you the other day. This is one of my favorite times of the year. If they're not in the playoffs, this is my fun time.
This is the Greek Orthodox Christmas for Rock.
Pretty much, yeah. For me, yeah, I can say that.
So let's start first with we don't need to get into the obvious. Bad year. We could get into 1,000 reasons why, and maybe later on in the show we'll give some opinions on where things went wrong, what could have been better, all that fun stuff. But here we are today. Drury's not going anywhere. Sullivan's not going anywhere. So harping on whether they are up to the task or not doesn't really help us or the listening audience. They're not going anywhere. What do you want to see happen? What's going to bring a smile to your face and get you pumped come September when you start to read the guys are reporting to camp? What gets Rock's juices flowing?
You're going to think that I'm crazy for saying this. I liked what I saw at the end of the season.
Good.
I liked the effort that I saw. I liked the young players and everything that came with it. I just want to see the same effort and everything next season. That's the only thing. I mean, I want to see what a healthy JT Miller looks like. I want to see Lafreniere take that step that we think he's taken. I want to see Sikora and Himalash, in a full season, bang some bodies and create havoc. I want to see Perreault take the next step. I want to see Fox get healthy. 2 seasons in a row, he's not been healthy. I want to see Mika continue to progress and shove it up, people's rear ends the way he has. All of that, plus, I need them to bring an impact player in here of some kind. This hedging, as Vince Macagliano called it, that Drury and Sullivan did with saying they need a puck-moving defenseman and help on the bottom 6 is their way of saying they're not going to come out and say we need a top 6 forward because for 2 reasons. One, they don't want to possibly lose the guys that are already there.
Right.
1, and 2, that guy might not be there. He may not be available. So if they come out and say, I'm looking for a top 6 forward, one, the price is going to be sky high,
Right.
and two, it might not be available.
Correct.
So I mean, at first I said I lost my mind when I heard that, and then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, this is as Vince called it. I give him credit for it, hedging, and that's exactly what they're doing.
So far, Vince is the star of the offseason,
He
as
is.
far as I'm concerned.
Listen, I mean, I know our other friend Sean is not a fan. He calls him Wince, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
But the guy puts the work in. You know,
Yep.
say what you want about him, other than his hockey. I don't see what people's problem is. The guy podcasts up until he's now going to podcast from now all the way through the second week of July. How many other beat writers are doing that?
Nobody.
How many other people are doing that? We're not even doing that.
Right.
I mean, we don't have his resources. We don't have his guests. He's going to have guests, I'm sure. Whatever. I'm pumping his podcast because the guy puts the friggin' work in. But I don't understand the logic behind not liking him. Unfortunately, he's really their only option right now.
Right.
From a standpoint that you're going to get any type of substance out of. So, I mean.
Well, let me say something about Vince where I want to piggyback off you with this. Me and Rock have spoken very harshly of the Rangers beat, especially since the passing of Larry Brooks.
Right.
But we've been saying it for years, even when Brooks was there. Everyone has always been afraid to ask tough questions, and everyone's been afraid to ask any real follow-up questions.
They can't.
When they're not given, the answer, an actual answer, a straight-up answer to a legitimate question, because of what's his name? Chime in with the name. What's the beat writer that was never seen again?
Oh, Michael Obenauer.
Pretty much since
criticized Sather.
All right, criticized Sather, and
It's gone.
that was the end of it.
Well, the Daily News doesn't even have a Ranger beat writer anymore.
See, not allowed. Vince finally took Chris Drury to task.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I think Drury, it's become the low-hanging fruit to I'm not disagreeing with that at all. But there's a lot, and we've gone through it, and I don't want to rehash all of it, but to me, there's still a lot of positives and a lot of negatives to Chris Drury as the Ranger GM. Put who he is as a person and how he treats the fan base aside. That's my feelings on Drury. Now, what none of us can stand is the lack of access. The Zoom calls. I don't actually get to visualize the words coming out of the man's mouth anytime he speaks.
Idea. We don't see his body language.
Right.
We don't see the way he.
There's no context.
We're guessing.
There's no context.
Yeah, we're interpreting. We're interpreting. Thank you. I mad dog that one. What other beat writers are saying? It's awful. It's fucking awful. I mean, you're guessing,
right?
Like the context in which he's saying things.
So Vince Mercogliano finally came out and said in his in a recent tweet and an article that this isn't right at this point. No. To just come out twice a year and do a conference call through Zoom when all of the beat writers have requested the end of year thing to be in person. He said across the board, all the beat writers requested in advance, long in advance. So I'm assuming that when the letter came out, they had started to request, the beat had started to request an end of year in person.
According to Vince, Molly Walker, which I was surprised to hear this, is the PR representative.
I get that.
For like the New York chapter of beat writers for the hockey writers.
I get it.
I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. So she put in a request.
She's the liaison, right?
That's the way he worded it, but
yeah,
exactly that's essentially what it is. And she put in a request a while ago for this, and he said no. The Rangers said no, or Drury said no. And again,
why?
Because he's afraid. Jeff Marek, Sean, who is not in New York,
right?
came out and said Chris Drury is media shy. Was anyone more media shy than Jeff Gordon? The guy was the most awkward person I have ever seen.
But he loved being out there
every single time, multiple times a year, out there to give us some answers, to do something.
He'd take interviews just around the garden.
100%.
He didn't have to be up at a podium. He would just
100%.
one-on-one, and it would be televised.
Drury makes fans long for Glenn Sather. Did you ever think that you'd hear that?
No.
Glenn Sather, when they announced him, and I said this, if anyone heard it, if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. When they had the last 100th anniversary and Sather was brought out there, he got the third loudest cheers behind Sean Avery and Hank. That is unbelievable. You're talking about a guy they wanted fired.
For 20 years.
Even he spoke to the fucking media. He has 4 cups. Drury has nothing as an executive or as a coach. He is one of the coattails of the fucking Avalanche behind Rob Blake and Sakic and Waugh and Ray Bourque. He wasn't the catalyst of that team. And Forsberg. He has too much carte blanche in this organization for doing nothing. What has he done? Give me his 5 best moves. Quick, Trocheck. What else? That's my point.
No.
Think of it.
No, we get it.
If I'm saying he has done
Ty Cartier.
Oh, good move. That's his 3rd best move. What does that tell you?
Exactly. But yeah, just the fact that Vince stood up and said that this isn't right, and I got to give him credit for that because it takes guts because you don't know if there's going to be repercussions for his career. You don't know after what happened. I know that he's way more established than what's his name?
Michael Obenauer.
Yeah. Vince is clearly way more established than Michael Obenauer, but
I think it's a different world too. I think that with Obenauer was at the beginning of social media.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. And I think it's a different world. And I think Sather's a Hall of Fame person. Drury's not. Drury's a nobody in the grand scheme. In the NHL world, as a player,
you can't say that.
He was a slightly above average player. He was a good player. He wasn't a great player. And again, he won his cup on the coattails of 10 other better guys that were better than him.
There's a little more than that. He wouldn't be picked to be, involved with Team USA if there was nothing there.
Maybe.
And if he wasn't well liked by people. Well, we don't like him.
Not disputing that he's probably well liked. I mean, Sean Avery is probably hated amongst most, but his teammates loved him. Same thing with Tony DeAngelo.
Right.
I mean, your teammates are going to love you, but it's how everyone else perceives you. And let's be honest, Sean, he's failed on so many levels. And until we see the worm turn, I mean, how long do you think this guy has? You got to think this is his last coach, right?
Well, his last coach, yes, because the coach is signed for 5 years. He's not going to get another.
And I don't think
chance.
his coach is less than 5 years, but that's
no.
Story.
Again, a lot is going. So
I'm not a Sullivan supporter, but that's another story.
And I'm not really one either. But I have accepted that Drury and Sullivan for the next 12 months, neither one is going anywhere.
Right, correct.
I agree with the big game hunting. I think all the smoke, there's plenty of fire behind the fact that I think Drury's going to stop at nothing to try and get Brady Tkachuk here. I don't think anybody on the roster is safe if it comes to Brady Tkachuk. I think that means Lafreniere. I think that means Perreault. I think that means Cooley.
You giving up Lafreniere and their first round pick this year?
The second one, not the first.
I don't think that's happening. Man.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
And again,
okay.
I'm only telling you what he seemed to think that they was going to have to really blow Ottawa's doors off.
Well, I
think it's a mistake.
Again, here's the thing. Matthew Tkachuk forced his way out of Calgary.
That's what's going to happen.
Said I had 2 years left, and I'm not re-signing with you. I will only sign in Florida. So you either have me here disgruntled. Not to say he wouldn't have been professional and shown up for work. Who's going to hold out?
That's what shocked me. Florida was terrible back then. Why would he only sign in Florida?
Zero.
Do you ever remember why? Did we ever get an answer?
No tax.
Was there a few teams that were involved?
No, it was him. It was Florida. It was no tax. They had Bobrovsky. They had Barkov. See, here's the thing. Barkov around the league is way more respected than public perception. And Barkov around the league, I think, is considered a top 5 player in the league.
I don't disagree with that.
Oh, now because he's won 2 cups, but at the time, he was a little bit of an unknown.
He's had cachet. Here's the problem. You got a lot of guys around this league that are great players trapped in shitty situations,
right?
Like shitty cities. Tage Thompson, if he played for the Rangers or he played for, in Canada, or he would be revered. He's a fantastic player, but he plays in Buffalo, so nobody cares.
See, here's where you're wrong about that. You understand that Buffalo is the 6th largest TV market in the country, right?
But from the NHL standpoint, they don't market him that way because Buffalo's not a high-profile team.
They just won the Atlantic. They just won the Atlantic Division, and watch what happens.
Carolina has been first place and won their division how many times? Still, nobody gives a shit about their market because nobody wants to go there.
It's one of the smallest markets in the league. Buffalo's not.
People are knocking on the door to go to Buffalo. Patrick Berglund retired to not play in Buffalo.
Was that in the last 14 years?
Yes. It's when they traded.
They sucked. They don't suck anymore.
Well, they didn't have to suck. Maybe if he played there, they'd be better.
Patrick Berglund. That's a.
I'm just saying.
I think you're getting on the Buffalo market and fan base and situation a little too harshly.
Wait. You think Buffalo is a desirable location for players?
I think it can be. It is for the Buffalo Bills. Why is that? Why is the football
8 games a year there?
That's not why.
Yeah.
They have Josh Allen. That's why. Okay. It's a rabid fan base.
And football is different. I mean, football. I don't think it matters as much as you don't have as many games. But
you don't think there's a ton of kids from Toronto that would have no problem playing in Buffalo?
I don't know, Sean. How many free agents have they been able to get without overpaying?
They've sucked.
They didn't stink when they signed Ehrhoff and Ville Leno.
So then they were able to get those free agents.
Yeah, overpaid for them.
Okay, but here's the thing: they have Owen. They have. I don't want to turn this into a Buffalo Sabres conversation,
right,
but they have a lot of high-end young players that veterans will want to go sign, especially if Buffalo wins a couple of rounds this year.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, but listen,
okay. You hate everybody.
Jack Eichel couldn't. No, Jack Eichel couldn't get out of there fast enough. There was a lot of guys. He could have been part of the solution.
Terrible organization at the time.
I mean, again,
they won't let him have the surgery. That was the problem.
It's one season. Let's see how they go moving forward, and let's see if they can keep this team together. Alex Tuch didn't resign. Why? Why isn't he resigned yet?
Because he knows he's going to make $13 million a year on the free agent market.
Buffalo hasn't won in 14 years. Why wouldn't they just give whatever he wanted?
And that's why they didn't trade him, because they understand the value in trying to win right now.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. I don't think it's a big market. I don't think it's a desirable place for players to play. There's a lot of teams there's a lot of places like Winnipeg's another place. There's just a lot of markets.
You're comparing Buffalo again, the 6th largest TV market. You're comparing them to the bottom feeders.
The 6th largest TV market for hockey. I'm not talking about football or
television.
Basketball.
Television markets are television markets. There's nothing to do with the sport. They're the 6th largest television market.
I got to look at the data on that because I find that very hard to believe.
I talk about it every day on NHL Network.
Really, I don't listen. Once the Rangers were eliminated, I haven't listened.
I get you. Anyway, so enough about the Sabres. Half my men's league team is also Sabre fans now, apparently. So where were we?
Wait, what? Half your men's league team are Sabres fans?
So we got an influx of guys that came onto the team. They're all family, and I think 3 of them went to University of Buffalo.
Where did they live before that, though?
Long Island. They're Ranger fans who also are Sabre fans from going to school up there.
Okay. Anyway, what were we saying?
One of them's married to someone from Buffalo. So
that I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
You have no choice, but Anyway, you can't have two favorite teams. I'm sorry. Can't have two favorite teams.
That's it.
One or the other.
The Rock has spoken.
Ridiculous. Two favorite.
So again, I think that there's a good chance that, especially if Ottawa gets eliminated in the first round, I would say within 5 games. If it becomes a 7-game series and they feel like they have unfinished business, maybe Brady gives it another year before kicking the tires. But if they're eliminated handily in 5 games or less, he's already. I mean, you saw what he did on his own podcast,
right?
Where his father called out the whole team. He laughed and didn't.
I didn't see that.
His facial. It went viral because his facial expression said everything that his voice didn't have to.
They got some good pieces, though. I mean, Jake Sanderson's a beast.
But they don't. There's something.
The goaltending. That
they
is
do. What are you talking about? Their goal is fine.
Hallmark stunk. He's been terrible.
He's not the reason that they're not winning.
What's the reason they're not winning?
They're a disjointed team.
They got what's his name? Oh God, I'm thinking of his freaking name.
Tim Stutzla. No.
They got Drake Batherson. They got some good players up there.
But doesn't that remind you of the Sabres for the last 10 years?
Yes. So then why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't
those pieces go elsewhere and then they go win?
Really, so let me ask you this: you think the Rangers are that much? You think the Rangers are closer than Ottawa?
I think the Rangers present something for Brady Tkachuk that he will never have in Ottawa. He'll be in the biggest market.
He'll be Messier.
Yeah.
I mean, Messier's a center,
but
he'll be Messier. And in hindsight, I mean, he's going to bring that fire. But everything we thought Miller was going to bring.
His brand. But I'm saying for him selfishly, his brand essentially will blow up being in New York. His wife is from New Jersey.
Right.
They live in New Jersey in the off season.
Right.
So coming to the metropolitan area is not something that's going to be foreign to him to begin with.
Philly would be a more desirable spot for him? Because I have heard that. And they definitely have more to offer than the Rangers do.
See, but it's going to come down to where he chooses to go because of his no move clause. So it's not a matter of Philly could offer Porter Martone and Zegras, and
that guy's sick. I would trade him.
I'm just saying they could offer Porter Martone,
right?
And the Rangers could offer Will Cooley. If he says I'm only going to New York, or you could lose me in 2 years, then it doesn't matter who Philly can offer.
Well, that's to me. That's going to be the only way, I believe, because I don't think they have. The assets are not something they have. I mean, they have as Elliot Friedman called it on his 32 Thoughts. I don't know if you heard that one. They've hit a lot of singles. They had singles. Yeah. Lob is a single. Cooley's a single.
Perreault's not a single.
What?
Perreault's not a single.
No, not Perreault. I'm not talking about Perreault.
Yeah.
But like Himalash and Sakura and they talked about Ty Cartier and they hit a lot of like little singles here of guys that are serviceable players. Garand could be a single type guy, solid backup guy that can play 20 games, 30 games, 25 games, whatever. But, other than Perreault, they haven't really. I mean, EJ Emery's going back for his junior year. You haven't heard boo about the kid. Nothing. Right? Am I wrong? I mean,
he's the number one defenseman on a team that just played in the college finals.
So, again, I mean, I haven't heard anything about him until I heard that he was going back.
Kids don't want to go. Here's the thing:
use a single.
Nobody wants to go to the AHL. Agents are keeping kids out of the AHL. Nobody wants.
Let him play in college one more year.
That's what he's doing. I understand, but that's why it's not because he's a bust or the Rangers aren't going to try and sign him or anything like that. It's just he'd rather play in college than play in Hartford, and who wouldn't?
Yeah, listen, I got it. Hartford's a good fun town, but I mean, I got it.
Not for them.
Got it.
Not for them.
Yeah, I mean, I Brady would be ideal. I don't know. I think, but this is my feeling on this, and it'll be a nice move. And if you have to trade Lafreniere and Schneider and make that move happen, I guess you have to do it. But
yes,
you're bringing in Brady and trading Lafreniere. You're just creating a hole and filling a hole. You're not adding to it. So there's still the stops.
I'll put it.
Top 6 forward short right now. If you trade 1 for 1, you're still 2 top 6 forward short.
But do you feel who do you feel is a better player, Lafreniere or Tkachuk?
Well, which Lafreniere are we talking about?
That's
the season, or the one that started the season. I mean, I don't know. Sean, I'll
That's
be
the
honest.
$1 million
I'm
question.
a general manager because I wouldn't know what to do about this. Like, was what I saw real, or was what I saw a team that and just played? It didn't think about anything. Didn't think about the fans. Didn't think about scoring. Didn't think about playoffs. Didn't think about anything. Just played. I mean, that's really what I want to find out. But you have to really consider it.
Well, you don't think they have their own internal scouting and they have their own internal views on players too.
Oh, I'm sure they have their own internal views. And I think if Lafreniere is traded, I think it's going to have to be a guy that's young and a guy that's established and a guy they feel.
Well, Tkachuk is who you would trade him for. I would. There's very few players that I would trade him for, but it would have to be, if it's not Tkachuk, it would have to be somebody like that. Similar age, what are you, 27, 28? So established
Is he
in his prime. Yeah, same age as Fox. Same draft. They were on that same Team USA.
But I guess
team.
if you're retooling and going for it, which I guess in some ways you have to.
You have Igor. You have to. What was the point of signing Igor to all this money if you were not trying to win?
They thought they were going to be here. But I don't know. Is this season a one-off? Or is this, I mean, you had a lot of guys get hurt this year, and you've been a big component of this, that, maybe if guys were healthy, we would have had a better record, which I definitely believe.
Yes.
The question is, now you got an older team. Is Miller, what's JT Miller? Is he what we saw at the end 2 years ago, or is he what we saw this season? Or is it somewhere in the middle?
He was still a point game player.
He was a 100-point player anymore.
But he was still a point a game player after January 1st, right?
Yeah.
Which is, and I'm not saying he played great, but just the fact that he didn't play that well and was still put up a point a game is pretty.
I mean, it does also help, Sean.
You would think that he
was scoring 4 and 5 goals a game. I mean,
he was treated. It's funny, the parallels.
It's ridiculous how they treated him.
JT Miller this year has been treated like the Ranger fan base treated Chris Drury in 2009.
Oh God, he was terrible.
He was terrible. That's my point. Captain came in, came in from out of nowhere.
He had one good season for the Rangers first year when he played behind Yager and Shanahan. How fucking convenient.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that it was all warranted when everybody shit on Drury as a player here for not living up to his contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Miller is busting his ass, playing hurt, playing through injury, still productive.
Right. No, I get it. Why do these guys have to play through injury? Like, what was the reasoning behind it? The team was going nowhere.
So what would you rather?
Not play.
And then what? What happens? If Miller doesn't play this year, where are they?
Why would you play?
He was producing, so why would he sit?
He wasn't producing to start the season.
They weren't out of it. They weren't out of it when the season started.
I'm not saying he was out of it, but
you just said they were out of it. Why was he playing?
All right, let me rephrase that. If he was still hurt to end the season, to which he obviously was because he sat out again at some point, why would you play at that point? And to start the season, I'm fully aware that you were just named captain. So I kind of get that. And we've seen guys do that. We saw Shattenkirk do that. He got hurt his first year. He played hurt. He shouldn't have because it was his first year. He wanted to be out there for opening night, blah, blah, blah. And all it does is set you back 4. You want to play opening night? Fine, play opening night. But you know what? After opening night's over, you get better.
Let me ask you this. Who's his best friend on the team?
Trocheck.
What did Vinny Trocheck deal with to start the season?
Obviously more than we all knew.
So how the fuck could he sit when Trocheck's playing after what Trocheck just went
He
through.
was hurt. He sat out.
And when Trocheck came back, that's what I'm saying. He sat out for 3 weeks, a month? He comes back and he's playing after what he just dealt with. I don't care. Miller's got to be sitting there saying, I don't care what's wrong with me. I didn't deal with what he just dealt with.
No, but
if I can physically skate, I'm going to play.
If your groin is hanging off the bone, I mean, what are you
Well,
doing?
it clearly wasn't hanging off the bone.
Well, I'm obviously being facetious, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying you could obviously tell he wasn't right.
60% of him was better than
What?
Johnny Brodzinski. Johnny Brodzinski.
I guess. But you know what? The problem with the difference between him playing and Brodzinski playing is, Johnny Brodzinski's a better.
My only problem
isn't an elite player. I don't.
Here's my only problem, and this comes back to the coach. Your franchise center and captain is hurt. Why are you playing him 21 minutes? Maybe you don't have to play him all those minutes until he's healed up. Play him 16, 17.
They did, obviously, if the season was over, but they
did in the beginning.
I know, but he did do that at the end of the season. He played Lauber and Cartier on the power play to start a lot. He did do that. He did limit the guy's ice until the last week of the season, where the last game of the season you have Fox, Miller, Sabinajad, and Trocheck playing 21 minutes till the last game of the year.
Miller averaged 20 minutes a game for the season. 20.
I'm not surprised.
So if you know the guy's hurt, why is he playing 20 minutes? So I put that on the coach. I don't put that on the player.
Players.
I put that on the coach. I don't put that on the player.
Listen,
as a player, he showed up for work every day with his lunch pail and said, "I'll give you what I got." And and not me, but as a fan base, we booed him for it.
JT Miller is more than 100% of Matt Rempe or whoever else you're going to throw out there, or for whatever position it was. And this coach did a lot of things this year that made zero sense to me.
Agreed.
Why was Matt Rempe playing as long as he was?
Right.
He wasn't himself. He couldn't stick handle. He couldn't fight. Why is he in the lineup?
Well, that hit it on the head. If Matt Rempe can't fight, he can't be on the ice.
All year, guys were playing hurt.
But fighting is 50% of Matt Rempe's,
not
use.
Even fighting, being a deterrent. He knows he can't fight.
Then he's not a deterrent. Right.
I mean, I like Rempe. I think he's a nice player. I think he has an NHL future. But I mean, you can't throw him out there. You did the guy an injustice. And then I gotta hear him tell me that Adam Edstrom needs to, what was the word he used? Be more consistent. What players were consistent this year? Was anyone consistent for 82 games? And you're going to pick on the 25-year-old who just came back from an injury, who broke his ankle? That's the guy you decide to pick on?
Clearly they don't.
Fury, who scored one goal all goddamn year. I just... What is the point of playing a UFA the last 15 games of the season? Why?
Oh, I think there's a good chance he's back. That's why.
They lost to a Cody McLeod resigned. Oh my God!
Connor Sheary gets that 2x2.
All kidding aside,
2x2, it's coming.
Where is he playing? He's not playing, and you cannot tell me he's playing in the top 6 again next year. You can't. You can't tell me that. You can't, because to me that's a backwards move. You want to sign him to be playing Hartford? I don't care. And be emergency call up, fine. But if you're signing him to think that he's actually going to make the team, I have a problem with that, especially when you have $30 million in cap space. I can kind of wrap my head around why they did it last year.
Right.
They had no cap room.
Right.
But to do it this year with $30 million worth of cap space, I think is completely asinine. And the fact that he played Brodzinski, Radish, and friggin' Sheary to end the year and gave Edstrom no more games, he punished him the rest of the season? I mean, that is ridiculous.
Clearly they're not re-signing him.
Who?
Edstrom.
He's already signed. He signed for next year.
He's signed for next year?
Yes, and that's the other part of it. You got a guy that's under contract sitting in the press box while 2 UFAs play in these fucking meaningless, pointless fucking games that mean nothing in the standings.
Radish to me had to play because Radish is under contract for next
Radish
year.
played because his brother played in Tampa and his father just passed away, which I can wrap my head around.
That's not why he played. He played because he's on the team.
Played.
He's on the team for next year.
100% why he played. 100% why he
because
played.
His brother's in Tampa. Oh, why he came back for the last game? You mean
last game of the season?
Oh, I didn't put all that together.
He came out. He played. Darren Radish is on the other side.
Right.
His parents, his mother was probably there. I can
understand
that.
Got it.
But Connor Sheary should not have played the last game of the season. I'm sorry. Etcham should have went in. They should.
Hottest player in the league.
Not the point. Why he's a UFA? It doesn't matter how fucking hot he is. He's a fucking UFA. You have a 25-year-old sitting in the press box, play a guy that's not going to be on the fucking team. Stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's short-sighted and stupid. Punishing the wrong people. And that's the same shit that happened with fucking Kako. He got punished. Meanwhile, this guy's playing like dog shit. That guy's playing like dog shit because he's fucking 32 years old. You can't sit the guy?
Rock, he plays with the right intentions. That's the Sullivan word, intentions.
I don't think this coach has Sean, he's got 2 years. He's got this year's a bust. He's got next year's at the year after, and that's it. He's gone.
Yeah,
they don't make the playoffs the next 2 years. He's gone. They will run this guy out of town on a fucking rail. He got the benefit of the doubt this year. Not
you don't fight. I mean, let's be honest. Sullivan's
I never get on coaches. Never. I didn't get on Gallant. I didn't get on Vigneault. I didn't get on Tortorella. I didn't get on Quinn. I didn't get on Laviolette. This guy fucked. He fucked up this year. He punished the wrong people. He did a shit job, especially to end the season. Should be about next year. It's about getting to see what this guy can give you. If nothing else, should he even be on the team this next year? He's under contract. You play 2 UFAs for 10 straight games, 11 straight games, end the season? Stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What is he trying to prove?
He's trying to get shit. He's trying to get his niece's husband a job for next year.
Then I don't want him as my coach. If that's his biggest priority, I won't want him as my coach. I don't want a guy that isn't going to give a young player who was fucking injured, who had a broken ankle. He had a broken ankle. You give him 5 games. You gave Freppy 15 with a broken fucking thumb who couldn't play. And you give Edstrom 5 games. One of them was at center. Why? Because the kid said he doesn't want to play center? Because he's not comfortable playing center? Maybe that's what it is.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said it in his post. His
I said he hadn't played since since juniors in Sweden.
Yeah, I mean,
I said that. I didn't hear him say that.
He's more comfortable playing on the wing.
Yeah.
But you gave him 1 game. You should tell him, listen, you want to play? You got to play center. You don't think the kid was going to say no?
Right.
Gave him 1 game.
Wasn't the answer he was looking
for. What does it matter? I just can't. But I'm not surprised because we've seen this from every coach we've had, Sean. These veteran coaches ride these veteran players. They don't give them any type of we see Gallant. He didn't give Lafreniere a chance. We saw Kako not get a chance. Hedel was the only one they actually gave a shot to on the second line. Laviolette gave him a shot on the second line, and he got hurt.
That was it.
I mean, whatever. And I'll tell you, Robertson is the only guy they actually gave runway to.
He still sheltered him a lot. I thought Robertson had a good year.
The penalty thing, he needs to really
he
really needs to work on that. But
that's a young kid.
But that's also a game that's a player that the game is just too fast, and he's reaching and he's cross-checking.
I think his speed is good for someone his size.
He took a lot of tripping penalties and a lot of holding penalties, and that's when the speed of the game is a problem. So, I mean, it's his first full season. I'm not going to knock
Yeah.
the Christian guy making $775,000.
Oh, I get that. But you want someone who's 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds. They're
I
not,
like him.
they're not all going to be fleet as foot. He's not Boogaboom back there with
No,
you know,
not
as
at
far as
all.
speed.
But it does go to show you that. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, they have 7 or 8 defensemen. You know, which probably means Scott Morrow is there's no room for him here.
Well, they got to make the here. So we'll get to this. So I can't see having Borgen and Schneider both on the team next year.
They won't be.
They're too similar of players. So you either get Borgen to waive and you move forward with Schneider.
Morgan, you could trade after July 1st. His no trade goes.
His
no move goes into a partial no trade after July 1.
Got it. All right.
You can trade him.
So one of those two, you got to move on from one of the two. They're the same player. You need somebody else that can be a puck mover, and that's what they said. Did he specify left shot?
No, he just said puck mover.
Yeah, they need a third pairing guy or God willing a second pairing guy on the right
Maybe
side
a
that
second
can.
pairing guy. They need like a. Oh God! Like I'm trying to think of a good example.
Do you think Schneider's only a third pairing defenseman?
He hasn't done anything to impress me. I think they held on to him too long. I mean, Sean, this is just.
Oh, he has so much value around the league.
I don't know about
He
that.
played 20 minutes a night this year.
I don't think it matters, but he doesn't bring
20
anything
and a half.
other than defense. He brings you 0 offense.
He had 18
Zero.
points. He had 18 points.
All right. How many defensemen in the league had 18 points?
I mean, he doesn't get any offensive.
Now he's a big post guy. I know he gets a lot of posts, but I mean, he is still young. I mean, he's what, 25?
24.
24. He will be 25 when the season starts. I don't know.
When did he turn 25? He just turned 25 last month. So you're right, like you said.
His birthday.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Robertson. Hold on. Schneider. When the season starts, Schneider will be 25 in September.
Mm-hmm.
So Schneider's younger than Robertson.
Right. Robertson was the draft before.
Right. He was 2019.
Robertson was the
Kakko draft.
Yeah, the Kakko draft.
Yeah. You can get a lot for Schneider. They have been held on to him for too long. He's playing 20 and a half minutes a night, which is, truthfully, this is how GMs evaluate defensemen.
We'll see.
How much time is the guy
Rangers
playing?
Don't want futures, and
No.
and they want a scoring forward, and I don't know how you're going to get a scoring forward for a defenseman that puts up 18 points a night.
Because it's going to be to a team who needs a defenseman that can play 20 minutes a night and play well defensively.
18 points a night that plays 20 minutes a night and not have to give up that much. He doesn't put up.
They don't grow on trees, especially a right-handed one.
Offensive production. I don't know, Sean. We'll see.
How many defensemen out there do you think score more than 20 points a year that play D and can move like that and play physical at that age?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has the value that we think he does. We're gonna see.
You hear nationally how much he's talked about as far as value. Remember at the deadline, how much he was talked about.
I think what Drury did, and again, I'm using this word, hedged his bets, where thinking that the market for UFAs are going to be light. There's going to be teams out there. I hope like Minnesota. If they get bounced in the first round, maybe they're finally looking to make a move and be a little bit more proactive.
They don't have anything. They don't have anything left.
They're going to have to trade Euro, whatever his name is. They're going to have to trade him. Yeah, I mean, my feeling is like these teams. I mean, how do we get a team to trade? Like, how do we get? I'm trying to think of a good example. So, you got to find a team that's on the cusp of a championship,
right? That has a jewel. You got to make the Martin Erat for Philip Forsberg trade.
Well,
so
I mean, at some point, Drury. At some point,
I'll bring up the name. I'll bring up the name of somebody that I want to
trade.
I want to target really badly in the offseason because I think change of scenery will do this kid good. I think he's too young to be given up on, and that's Mason McTavish. I would love to see us go after him.
Why they think he's on the downturn?
He's been completely on the outs with Anaheim.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that started with the contract and everything else.
It's been demoted down to the third line.
What's his production like? He's also
it's average. He's 23 years old. Like as a centerman, like how the fuck would anyone give up on a centerman who's already he pretty much almost averages 20 goals a season by 23. Over the last 4 years, he's like 17, 19, 21, 18.
Who you trading for him?
I don't think you'd have to give up anything that's insane.
Come on, really? Of course you have. I'm not going to trade him.
I'm not saying that they're giving him away, but I'm saying I don't think it's.
You're not getting him for Scott Morrow and
no.
What's not insane?
No,
not insane?
No, I think Carolina's pick and a B prospect might be able enough to get that done.
So. You know how many teams are going to be able to offer more than that? There's going to be teams that are going to give up more than that. And you know what? For a 23-year-old player, you really want futures?
That's not a future to me. That's someone that's ready to step into a role.
I'm talking about Anaheim.
I was only talking from a value perspective.
First round pick, an elite first round.
I was only talking about from a value perspective.
I don't know. I think you're giving up a lot more than that.
I said I was done playing armchair GM, but that's a player that I would love to go get. Yes, Robert Dobek, Marco Casper would be another great guy to go after. I'd love to get him.
Detroit. Yzerman
has to do something.
This is why, guys, when everyone wants to hire Messier to be the GM or the coach, to give Detroit is the perfect example of why you don't do that. Because now you can't fire this guy. He's going to have to leave on his own accord. It's going to have to be, I don't want to do this anymore, or he's going to move up to the presidency and he's going to hire another GM. Because how do you hire one of the best players in your franchise's history? How do you fire that person? And it completely was going to damage your relationship.
Right.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, Yzerman has caught a ton of flack for going into a playoff push and a playoff run with Andrew Kopp and who's the other guy? Another Andrew Kopp type player. No, it's the second line center. JT Compher. Those two guys were bad. Like Trocheck would have fit that team perfectly.
They just don't want to give up anything. I mean, look what was given up in the trade deadline, Sean. All futures. Nobody off their current roster. No A-level prospects got moved. Nothing. We saw the trade deadline. It was an absolute dud. You and I did the show. We did the show and we're announcing the friggin' Rangers are trading Offman for Jacob Battaglia or what was the other trade they made? They traded Derek Pouliot for somebody. And I mean that was our day. I mean, you and I did a show with that nonsense. I mean, there wasn't even interesting trades around the league. Justin Falk got traded. I mean, I don't know. Nobody of significance got traded.
That show. I almost felt like, and don't get me wrong, I had fun doing it, but it felt like the Geraldo Rivera 1986. What's his name? Al Capone Vault, where they went live.
I don't remember.
So in '86, Geraldo Rivera says we found Al Capone's private vault, and we're gonna excavate it on this day, and we're gonna do it live. And it was like one of the most watched things where like all of America tuned in. They opened the vault and there's nothing. It was completely empty. Wow. He had so much egg on his face. It's Geraldo. What else did you expect? But yeah, that's what the show kind of felt like. We had all this build up, like something's gonna happen.
Nothing.
And nothing.
And I think that affected Trocheck, and I think that's the one. Drury didn't give us much in his press conference, but what he did do is he when he's talked about trading Trocheck, and I sent you the clip from it. He didn't say he's coming back. I mean, he pretty much made it known that, you know, this guy's not coming back. I mean, we're not saying it.
Right. He didn't put his foot down and say that he is coming back, but I think he still said that opportunity. If I remember correctly from what it was opportunity. We said after the trade deadline that, you know, there are different windows for players to be moved, and obviously we didn't move him in the first window, so we'll see what happens in the next window. So yes,
the quote. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
So yes, it did spell that he's still being shopped, but I also still think.
All right, so this was the quote. Where things stand in terms of trading Trocheck, how aggressive will Droid be exploring more offers this summer? Well, this is from Drury.
Right.
Well, I think if you look at it, there are two kinds of different cycles in a season, right? The trade deadline, there's a limited amount of buyers, there's a limited cap space. It's not the off season. The rosters aren't being shuffled or retooled across the league. So going into the off season, as I said, we're going to review and take a look at everything within the roster, within the organization. We're always going to try to do the best moves, short-term, long-term health of the organization. So the last part is his typical cookie cutter bullshit. Yeah. But he did say that there's limited buyers at the trade deadline. And they're not going to reshuffle their lineup which made me seem like he doesn't want futures. He wants players.
Right.
He wants guys that you can plug into the lineup. And honestly, that's what they should be looking at.
Yeah.
They have a high first round pick. They have Carolina's first round pick if they want to use it.
The Derek Brassard.
They don't need any more future. I mean, I can say that they do need draft picks, Sean, and they do need prospects.
They have a lot of draft picks, though.
They have a lot of third rounders. They don't have a lot of guys. We've seen them
4 third rounders.
But should I go back and look at the guys that were drafted after who was it? After the first round, that year they had like 11 draft picks?
What about the year they drafted Bushnevich and Anthony Duclair, both in the third round?
Really long time ago. But I'm talking about since they did the 2018 letter. If you go back and you look at those guys,
Jacob Ragnarsson, Joey Keane,
Ponnaniemi, Nico Gross.
That's
the name. There was a lot of guys that just they never saw the light of day.
Shellberg.
Yeah, Shellberg is another guy. So again, they're nice scratch offs, they're nice lottery tickets, and the Rangers have done well in the third round.
Right.
But to sit here,
they have 2 firsts. They have it. They still have a second, not our second, but we have a second. So that's 3 picks that are still pretty prime picks, top 60 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the first pick, we'll find out May 5th. Can't fucking wait for that.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you want to maybe do something for that, or
I got to see what day of the week is that, if I have hockey
Tuesday.
Or not.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, almost every Tuesday I have hockey.
I don't even know what time it's on.
It's during the first intermission of whatever game they're televising is the main game on TNT that night.
Oh,
or ESPN, whatever. Yeah.
Well, one year they did its own show. Oh, that was the Lafreniere one.
Yeah, it was the Lafreniere one. But
that was
I think they said they're doing everything the same as they did it last year.
Okay, I didn't watch last year.
So I forget whether that's ESPN or whether it was TNT.
Well, that's going to be like, if the game is 8 o'clock, then it's going to be like around 9:30.
But not
9 o'clock.
They'll take the full 18 minutes of the intermission to do a lottery. As many commercials as possible.
You have hockey that night?
Actually, I think the schedule's already out.
Because, I mean, worst case scenario, I'll jump on my own and bullshit for a little bit. And I don't have a TV down here. Would have to figure something out how I can view it, maybe on an app or something.
Nobody's got 2 TVs, Rob.
Nobody's got 2 TVs.
Yeah. Wow, you must be.
You must be rich.
I was waiting for you to jump in on that one. Sort of a rerun.
We just lost Strickland.
I know.
I was heartbroken. That was one of our first interactions when I said to Andy Strickland, "Hey, Strickland," and you come out. Did this guy ever have hair?
I do not have hockey on May 5th. All right.
Wow.
So we will do something May
So we
5th.
could do something that night. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I got Sunday, Monday that week.
Listen,
Not Monday,
Full
Tuesday.
disclosure. Full disclosure. I don't expect the Rangers to get lucky 3 times. So let me just put that right out there. I just don't want them to fall too far.
Well, they can't fall further than 5th.
Toronto, when Florida and Toronto move past us in this draft, and they're drafting first or second,
Toronto.
I'm just going to say, as long as they don't go down to 5. If they go down 1 slot, I'm fine with that.
Can I tell you the truth? And this is in my opinion of only reading. I don't watch amateur hockey, so I've seen highlights. And when I watch highlights of guys, and I don't watch like just one.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching when someone posts
like this guy Carvel.
Carson Carrolls.
I'm just playing with that.
Carson Carrolls. I like watching where they show like 5 minutes of highlights on a guy.
Mm-hmm.
What I like seeing, because it's something, and it's also the same as you hate basketball, but when you're watching someone play basketball,
I hate football.
Okay, true. Body control, top speed body control. When the guy's skating at his fastest, how's his body control and puck control and shiftiness? Is he able to maneuver? Does he look like he's floating on ice as he's making?
Nobody can move like McDavid.
When you watch there's certain guys, there's certain things that you just pick up on when you watch even a highlight of someone where you can tell that's an NHL player. But that's someone who's able to do something that the other guys on the ice can't. Because obviously I'm not sitting there watching 60-minute games and watching every game a guy plays. And listen, they're lining up against someone else who's going to be working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car in 6 months. So you got to take all of it with a grain of salt. Or is going to go play in, the third league of the Dell in Germany,
right?
For a living. So they should be man amongst boys, even at 17 years old against, sometimes 20-year-olds. So I go by what I read, and who do I trust when I read? Whether they pick third or they pick fifth, we are getting the same quality prospect, because there's McKenna, there's most likely Stenberg. Stenberg may fall to 3 if whoever's picking 2 just covets one of the defensemen. So that could happen because he's a wing, not a center.
I'm going to tell you what I heard, but keep going.
So, but between Verhoff, Reed, Carrolls, those 3 guys, you ask 10 people and you'll get 10 different answers, 10 different rankings between the 3. And in watching all 3 play, the one who, to me, just from what I see as far as, like I said, speed, body control, all that stuff, Verhoff seems to be behind the other 2. Like Chase Reed just flies all over the place.
The other 2, though, also.
Right, and that may take a little bit more time. Right. It took Hedman a few years to become Hedman. So he might have the highest ceiling of the 3. Reed may have the highest ceiling offensively of the 3, and Carrolls may just be Drew Doughty, which only is the top 100 player of all time. So, and 2 cups.
Right.
So regardless of to me it's we win the lottery and get one of the wings, or we're gonna get one of those 3 defensemen, and whichever one it is, I'm gonna be ecstatic.
Well, I this is my only feeling on this, and I don't know if I've seen this floating around Twitter. I don't know if you've seen it. Caleb Malhotra is getting a lot of heat. I heard Chicago likes him. I heard the Canucks like him. Obviously, there's the connection with Manny and the Canucks and whatnot. So I'm wondering if he jumps up. They're talking he may jump up to 2. I mean,
who he reminds me of, and it's not, and this isn't a bad player in any bite, and he had an unbelievable year this year. But look at how long it took. Nick Suzuki is kind of who I see. Nice player, but is he a 1C on a cup team?
And to me, he's not a top 5 caliber. My feel, and this is my biggest feeling, and this is what scares me. I'm no one to pass over Amir Heiskanen or Kale McCarr or someone of that ilk to draft
for position.
For draft a Nick Suzuki. You know, we've seen that sometimes where they'll reach for forwards. And I mean, look at the Kravtsov draft, Sean. I mean, Zadina, Barrett Hayden. Barrett Hayden was in that draft, right? Yeah. Kravtsov. There were a lot of forwards taken before Evan Bouchard and before Noah Dobson. There were a lot of guys taken before those guys. And let's be honest.
It's because they were forwards.
They were forwards. And honestly, I would prefer a forward myself. But let's be fair. Let's talk about it. They're not strong on defense either. It's not like they're flush with all these defenseman prospects. Take the best player available.
Correct.
I don't care who it is. If it's as long as it's not a goalie, because we don't need that. I don't care if it's a forward or a defenseman. Do not pass up on the possibility of finding an Erik Karlsson or that type of player in the top 5 and passing on them to draft a forward just because you don't draft for need. You're not good enough. They're not good enough to say, okay, you know what? We have enough defensemen. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
I think so. If you ask me to rank the 3 of them,
I know you like Carvel's the best.
I think he's the safest. And what I mean by, and that doesn't mean that's not a cop out. Verhoff, I think, has the highest ceiling because, again, he's 6'4" and has excellent offensive skills.
He could also be Griffin Reinhart, though.
There's a chance to me he could be too slow. But he's not slow. Right. If that makes sense. For him to be what you want him to be as a top, 25-minute a night, 24-minute a night, run your first power. Victor Hedman. If you're drafting Verhoff, it's because you think he could be Victor Hedman. Mm-hmm. That type of a little less physical, from what I understand.
Correct. And Hedman's not overly physical. I mean, he's physical enough.
But so to me, that's the only word. And granted, if we draft Keaton Verhoff, I'm still going to be ecstatic and be really happy with the pick. Don't get me wrong.
Those are the 3 guys. I mean, unless they fall to 5, Sean.
Even 5.
They fall to 5, and I'm just saying, if they fall to 5,
all 3 of those guys are there. One of those 3 guys are there.
If they fall to 5, maybe they don't and say Malhotra doesn't get drafted. Maybe they say we'll take Malhotra and we'll take that over. Maybe they don't like one of the other defensemen. That's right. I don't know. I know. That's the only way, in my opinion, they're going to not draft one of the defensemen. And honestly, that could been what Sullivan was saying when he said, where we need a puck-moving defenseman.
Oh, there you go. All 3 of them are puck-moving defensemen.
All 3 of those guys are in their wheelhouse where they could possibly draft. You're going to get one of them unless they go 1, 2, 3. One of them is going to be there.
Carroll's is the left shot. Reed and Verhoff are both right shots.
And to be fair, they really need more help on the left side.
But you can't take that into account when you're drafting.
No.
Whichever player you feel is best, you pick.
And I'll tell you, I mean,
Adam Fox won't be here in 5 years.
I'll tell you this: if they do draft either Verhoff or Reed, do you think they're making the team next year?
Verhoff, no, he would stay in college. Reed, possibly.
He's a college kid too, though, isn't he?
He played for the. He just played for the Sioux.
Okay.
I think he's
a Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I think he was from?
I think he's an American kid who played in Canada.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, he played for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
So Rob is asking which defensive prospects are left-hand shots.
Yeah, Carroll's.
No. Is he talking about? Rob, are you talking about in the Rangers organization or in the draft?
I think
or what he was referring to. Maybe was he talking about in the Rangers system? because the only defensive prospect that is really Jackson Dorrington and EJ Emery. All the other defensemen that are in Hartford and Morrow.
Oh, and
defensemen
Fortescue's already up, but yeah, Fortescue would fall into that. Yeah.
They got some decisions
in the draft. Yeah, in the draft.
Sean already answered that for you. I think that's what you.
Yeah.
I think you answered that. I'm taking the best guy.
Correct.
But Sean, let me tell you something. They can't miss on this draft.
And that's why, to me,
not miss on this They cannot miss on this draft.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There is no way that they can miss on this draft pick. I don't care if he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's got to contribute on a high level. I mean, something. I mean,
again, to me,
same substance. They cannot miss. This cannot be Kakko or Kravtsov. It can't. It can't. I cannot stress that enough.
Well, Kravtsov was 9, not
this franchise back another 5 years.
Kravtsov was 9. He wasn't top 5. Top 5's a lot different than 9.
But still top 10.
It is top, but it's a lot different than top 5.
Look how many other teams have drafted in the top 10 and have hit and hit and hit.
And there's a lot that have missed and missed and missed.
Oh, I know there are, but I mean, I think
top 5. You can't miss a top 5 pick.
In the top. I mean,
he was
guys that fell behind Kravtsov that were better than him.
Bouchard went 11.
Dobson. I know. Everyone wanted Oliver Wahlstrom, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
I mean,
same as Kravtsov.
I mean, maybe close. Fellows. I mean, there have been a lot of bad trips.
So I just wanted. So again, I touched on Bearhoff where the limitation could set in.
Well, you don't think any of these guys are playing next year. That was the question.
No, I think Reed and Carroll's have a chance to play in the right situation next year, depending on which team. See, Matthew Schaefer's opened the door to a defenseman playing right away, whereas normally it would never be considered 20 years ago, and that was a mistake. No, he was drafted and he still stayed in London. He didn't come straight from the draft to play in the NHL. He played in London.
Played 1 year over there. That's right. He was 19. David Tanabe, I think, played. Good pull, though. You got to admit that one.
Yeah.
No, there haven't been many defensemen.
But because of Schaefer's success has opened the door.
That made that. Owen Power went back. He did go back, but Dahlin came. But look how long it took Dahlin to get to the level where he, is now like a whole.
Here's the thing. I'll go player by player here. They draft Chase Reed. First off, anyone who says Chase Reed is Cale Makar, punch them in the face. That is underrating Cale Makar so much.
If he's a Cale Makar light, I'll take that.
You could say that they're cut from the same cloth stylistically. Mm-hmm. First of all, he's taller, 6'2", Chase Reed. He is not Cale Makar. Okay. Cale Makar is the best defenseman I've seen since prime Erik Karlsson, as far as with the puck. Ottawa Erik Karlsson.
That's fair.
And before that, God only knows. Lidstrom, Leach. Like you're talking Cole. Yeah.
Listen, I love Brian Leach.
No, he's not Lidstrom.
Lidstrom is one of the best defensemen I have ever seen.
I mean, as far as the excitement, the explosiveness, and all that stuff. Lidstrom was watching paint dry, but he was a tactician. Yeah, couldn't get around him. He was 7 feet tall with a stick.
Charo,
No, but I'm saying like he was only 6 foot. He was only 6 foot, 6'1". It wasn't big, but the way he played with the stick, he may as well have been 7 feet. It was like an octopus.
No, you're right.
Couldn't get around him, and then he would just ho hum 70 points somehow.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but no, he's like Chase Reed would come to the Rangers, have 5 highlight reel plays that would sit. This is as a rookie, if he came up and played right away.
But he'd be a minus 25.
He would be a minus 25 right away, because the questions about him are how good is he defensively? Again, Erik Karlsson wasn't great defensively, but he was so unbelievable offensively and controlled the game.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to. Can those type of defensemen who aren't the greatest defensively, like an Eric Carlson, can they win a championship?
Eric Carlson almost single-handedly did win a championship after beating us.
That was one.
Yes.
He had one really magical season. I'm
on
talking
one foot.
I'm talking about in this NHL. If you're a liability,
Cal McCarr's not great defensively, and he has won a
better than
championship.
Carlson, though. He's
I'm
better
just-
than Carlson defensively. I mean, we
Not
have
by much.
do it. I mean, Sandis Ozolinsh won a cup with Colorado, but you're going back
Sandis
here.
Ozolinsh.
Well, I'm just giving you examples of I can't think of anybody recently that was just a one-dimensional offensive defenseman that
Paul
has won a
Coffey.
championship.
Paul Coffey.
That's a good I'm just saying, like the one-dimensional defenseman
I get it.
only is good, who's a minus 15 and puts up 60 points. How many of those guys can
Well,
those guys win cups?
60 is not good enough. You're going to be that type of player. You got to be put up Quinn
75,
Hughes.
80 points.
You got to put up Quinn
80
Hughes numbers.
Eric
Yeah.
Carlson, and that's why I'm saying that. Think of the stud defensemen that will win championships. The crews, whether it's Pietrangelo, who's a defensive, Drew Doughty, great defenseman. Hedman, great defenseman, puts up both. I'm talking about do both. Can put up points and can play good defense.
Right.
I want to know the great defenseman, the truly great defenseman that only puts up points that is not good defensively.
Wait, I'm not saying that Chase Reed is Tony DeAngelo defensively.
Well, I'm saying you compare it to Eric Carlson. Eric Carlson is not good defensively.
But he has been at times when he wants to. And I have no idea to say
Only
it just.
played on bad teams. So
but I have no-
finally back in the playoffs. I will.
Oh,
and his
that-
team is
It's
down 3-0.
down 3-0.
So.
I have no idea what his motor is. I have no idea is it a lack of effort? Is it a lack of awareness with him defensively? Is it he doesn't feel challenged at this level right now defensively? He's 6'2". He's 6'2".
No, I'm talking about Carlson. Are you talking about Carlson and Chase Reed?
Chase Reed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I thought we were still talking about Carlson.
No, I'm talking about Chase Reed. That's what I'm saying. We know Carlson's just. I just want the puck, and I'll make up. I make him. I give up a goal. I'll just go get it back. Like that's Carlson's.
I think it's also going to be. I mean, if Toronto. Well, Toronto, the highest they can go, can get 1-2. They can't get 3-4.
What do I care about Toronto?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out like who would take a defenseman, like if there's a necessity of those other teams.
If we're sitting here talking about the Rangers having to just take the best player available, so is every other team. So I don't think anyone's taking place.
Well, yeah, you're right. I guess so. The other teams have been worse longer. Like Calgary's been bad for a while. No, Florida. I mean, I'm Sean. I will be shocked if Florida or Toronto do not win the lottery or get in the top two. I'm telling you right now.
You do know that it's not fixed, right?
No, I know it's not fixed.
Okay.
But how come the Devils? How many times have the Devils jumped up into the top? 3 times.
That just goes to show you it's not fixed. Because why the fuck would the league care about the Devils? No one else does.
I just think that's a Ranger bias. That's my Ranger bias.
They don't. They're a terrible TV market. They're terrible. They're terrible in attendance. They're not. If the league was trying to fix for a team, it wouldn't be the Devils.
Oh, I'm not saying it's fixed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's fixed. I'm just saying of all the teams, that could move up, those are the only 2 teams I don't want to win.
Crosby was fixed. I think we all agree
Correct.
with that. But that also wasn't done by Ernst & Young. Like Ernst & Young is go look at the ticker. I mean, they're worth what, $500 billion. They're not putting their reputation on the line for the NHL lottery. It's just
Well, maybe they fixed the Lafreniere draft because they're up down the block from the Garden.
now you sound like every Islander fan I play hockey with.
Well, let me tell you something. We did the Islanders a fucking favor last year by beating them 4 times, and that's why they wound up getting that draft pick.
God
Because
bless
that
them.
should have been our pick if we didn't win the last 2 fucking games of the season.
God bless them.
Anyway.
So yes, I do not think the lottery is fixed. No matter who wins it. I mean, we could all have when they did the mock lottery and Toronto won it. and this is on TSN during the draft, the trade deadline, and they were like, "Great, we just broke the internet now by having Toronto in the lottery. No one will ever believe us that we didn't fix it."
No.
But no, there's no way in the world that it's fixed.
Like I said, I mean, I don't expect them to win. I just don't want them. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I would like the opportunity to pick the defenseman. If we're going to take the defenseman, I'd like for the opportunity to pick the guy that we really want. To not get like the fifth guy and be like, all right, well, I guess he's all that's left, so I guess we got to pick him now at this point. I'd rather have the option of the three guys and for us to pick the one we feel is the best of the three of them.
Well, there's also Albert Smits that a lot of people are extremely high on too.
He's Latvian.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see the Rangers going that way.
Neither do I.
I think that they're.
But that doesn't mean that another team that doesn't value.
No, and I agree with that. And
he's really fucking good. He might because he's really fucking good.
You know, I mean,
and he's got a great attitude.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just looking.
He's the most physical of the four.
Yeah.
He's 6'3", skates like the wind, hits, good, like really good offensive player, good defense. Like he's all around. He's going to be another really, really, really good fucking defenseman.
So if the Rangers win the draft lottery, we're going to go to the what's it called, the viewing party, the Ranger viewing party, and do a live from there, right?
I'll go.
I went to the Kako one.
See, I went.
They could not chase us out of there fast enough.
I went to the craft stuff.
Oh my god!
That's the only viewing party I went to because we had
out of there fast enough.
We had 3 first-round picks. That was the only one that I went to.
Well, when I decided to go, that was before they made the Trouba trade. So they did have 2 first-round picks. They had theirs and they had the Winnipeg one.
Right.
And then they traded it back to Winnipeg for Trouba. So at that point, they had 2 second-rounders. But I'll tell you, they made the Kako pick. They did a little other nonsense, bullshit, and they were like, all right, let's go. Everyone out.
So they got word that they weren't trading back into the first round again, I guess.
Apparently. I mean, I don't know how far I don't remember how far along into the draft, but I mean, it didn't matter at that point, but they couldn't kick us out of that place fast enough.
I went to the one, it was Kravtsov, Keandre Miller, and
so what was it like? So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. What was it like when they announced that the Rangers had made a trade and they had moved up? Was it
I started going nuts thinking we got Martin Kaut. Dominic Bach. That's who I thought we were trading up for.
Oh, Dominic Bach.
Yeah.
I guess in hindsight, that was probably
awful. But he was falling. He was supposed to probably go around like 13, 14.
Isn't it so funny, like when stuff like that happens? Because I remember the Kravtsov draft, Angelo Esposito fell. And like, oh my God, I can't believe he fell. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get a great player. Blah blah blah.
Which draft is this?
The Sharapanov draft.
Oh, Sharapanov. You said Kravtsov. That's why I was confused. I
meant the Sharapanov draft.
Yeah.
And he winds up getting drafted, and God only knows what would have happened with him. What would have happened with him? Unfortunately. But then Angelo Esposito got picked right after that, and he never saw the light of day. So you never know. I mean, you never know with these guys. They hang around and. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, but when the trade came through, that's all I could think of at the time. Was like I literally jumped out of my seat. We got Dominic. I was also extremely drunk.
Yeah.
The felt form couldn't contain.
Well, I don't even remember. I watched that. Obviously, I watched that draft. I don't remember them saying Miller. Them talking about that. Sometimes you get a sense. But remember the Hoffman draft? I mean, you and I, that was when I think we first started kind of talking.
Yeah.
You thought that they remember Detroit moved 1 pick past us, and you thought that the Rangers were going to draft Kosa?
I thought yes.
That was strange, right?
I was nervous that we were going to take Kosa.
Why would they have jumped us to take a goalie?
Because you had to pay Igor $12 million and you didn't know what Igor was 100% yet?
I don't know. I always found that fascinating that you jump us to take a goalie? And I remember you saying, like, did
It
you
was
think the
rumored.
Rangers wanted Kosa?
It was
Like,
rumored.
they weren't drafting a goalie in the first round.
It was rumored.
They weren't drafting a goalie in the first round, Sean.
I'm just saying that it was rumored. I'm not saying that they were or weren't.
I mean, maybe they would have better off drafting Kosa than drafting Offman, but I mean, I don't know what Kosa's doing now. He's even in the league?
He's Grand Rapids. He's early. It's 20. What is he? 23.
Well, I mean, look how long it's taken
22.
Garant to get here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It takes his goalies a long time. So I wouldn't read into whether he's here yet or not.
Yeah. No, I know. I guess I'm used to Dan Blackburn coming up as an 18-year-old.
But yeah, Costa, I agree with you about Malholtra, though. I think his ceiling is
Nick Suzuki.
a high end 2C. Dylan Larkin, Nick Suzuki. Yeah, really good player. Not a 1C that's going to carry a team. And if you're going to draft someone in the top 5, you want a foundational building block player.
I mean, we'll do this on another show.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go through some of these drafts. That'll fill up some time.
If we draft Stenberg, I have to be honest with you, I have no idea what he is. His numbers.
Everybody's consistent with him.
His numbers are off the fucking charts.
Let me ask you this:
compared to everyone else in that league.
About this the other day, who was the last? I'm trying to really like who's I know. Obviously, we know Forsberg, how great he was. Pedersen's had his ups and downs, but the last really great, the most recent great, Lucas Raymond, as far as
great what?
Forward. Swedish forward.
A Swedish forward. Sasha Barkov?
He's Swedish? I thought he was Finnish.
Swedish, Finnish.
Well,
Finnish,
I think
Swedish.
that's a big difference, right?
He's not Russian. Sounds like a Russian
I thought he
name.
was Russian, but I think he's Finnish, though. But what was the last great, truly great star? I mean, the Sedins were 1999. I mean,
Zibanejad?
Yeah, maybe. Great
Yeah,
star.
Lucas Raymond. Yeah, I guess you could throw him up there. No, you're not wrong.
That is my only.
But his numbers are like double what other kids his age that have gone on to be stars in the NHL have done. That's Finland. That's not Sweden.
No, I know, but where are his numbers compared to?
I don't.
I want to know. I want to know because Kakko was the consensus second overall fucking pick, Sean, all year.
Yeah,
all year. So I am very worried.
So
I almost don't want the Rangers.
I agree. So I'm the same way. Like I know Gavin McKenna is going to be great. Like I think anyone who's ever watched Gavin McKenna play knows he's going to be great.
But
so I'm not worried about
Lafreniere.
This is different. This is speed.
Lafreniere was the consensus.
I get that, but this is
for 3 years prior to his draft.
This is speed. This is speed. This is Patrick Kane. That's Gavin McKenna.
Wait till Steve lace him up for Florida next year.
That would be insane. I'm not gonna lie. That would
right
be
now. He's going
insane.
to Florida or Toronto. Mark my words. It's just too easy for him to go to Vancouver or Calgary. I mean, maybe Chicago, but I mean, what I will say though is I did go back and look at the last 5 draft lotteries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Islanders won last year and moved all the way to 1.
Yep.
No other team in the last 5 years have made that big a jump. It's mostly been, I think the highest was a Chicago was 5th.
They moved to 2.
No.
Yeah, they moved to 2.
No. Chicago went to 1st for Bedard. So maybe they were 3rd. So maybe Chicago was 3rd and moved to 1. But there was a team that was 5th. It might have been the Devils. Devils went from 5 to 2, and they drafted Nemec. Mm-hmm. Other than that, other than the Islanders, and other than, like I said, the Devils moving from 5 to 1 or 5 to 2,
mm-hmm.
there hasn't been any team to make that big of a jump. Most of the other teams have been in that top 5. So from 5 to 1, they've just been reshuffled a little bit.
Right.
So we have that in our favor to think that maybe the Islander draft was just a one-off. So listen, I'm good with Calgary or Chicago or any one of those other teams winning. Just not a team in my. I don't want to have to worry about this guy now shoving it down our throats. Having to play this guy possibly in a playoff series and having to deal with him. Let him be fucking out west. That's all I care about. We only have to worry about those two teams. Everyone else are Western Conference teams.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty convinced that Vancouver is going to wind up getting the first pick.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
It's a great city. I hope they do. They go in there, going to Chicago, going to Calgary, any one of those teams. Just not Toronto, and not one we will never ever not. They'll talk about on NHL radio for a week. I mean, they'll talk about nothing else.
Oh, if he goes to Toronto?
Oh, if he goes to Toronto.
Oh, forget it.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
That fan base will want Austin Matthews out of town before you could say a word.
And then what's it called? They moved up in the draft, I think, but I think they were.
No, they finished with the worst record when they.
Oh no, they did finish the worst record. You're right. That was that year. But then they had the 1 year where it's funny. I was joking about this. They had the 1 year that they traded their first round pick for Kessel, and it wound up being Sagan.
Mm-hmm.
And now this year, the top five protected. There's a chance they could possibly move down. Well, they're five.
They move out of five, right? If they
move down to, they can move down to 6.
If anyone leapfrogs them,
in the
Boston
top 5. They're going to move down to 6, and now they're going to lose a top 6 pick for friggin' Brandon Carlo.
Yep.
At least Kessel, you can kind of wrap your head around. You're going to lose a top 5 pick for fucking Carlo? Islanders can't get the first overall pick.
No, they can only move up 10 spots.
Move up 10 slots, right?
Yep.
So we got that going for us.
Which is nice.
Yes. But I mean, man, oh man, you got to be. I mean, we think we have it bad. To me, Toronto is in much worse position than we are.
And they have to sweat. They have to sweat this out.
They have to sweat this out. Now, roughly, thank God we only have 2 more weeks. We got 2 weeks from Tuesday, right? Is the lottery? So it's not next Tuesday, it's the Tuesday after. So we're going to have some kind of understanding of what we're dealing with and where we're picking.
Right.
And then from there we'll
right, because your entire offseason changes if you win the lottery.
Does it? No. There's still even if they draft McKenna, Sean, they still need another top 6 forward.
They'd only need 1 more, not 2. Right.
They still need 1 more. I mean, I wonder though if they do get McKenna, if they will, if they'll just stay in pat and they won't even bother, and just see what Lafreniere is at that point. Then,
but neither one has to do with the other. What do you mean?
No, but then it's a free asset.
Let's say let's
trade anybody now.
Let's devil's advocate. Let's say they win the lottery and they get McKenna, or they finish second and they draft Stenberg. Either way, that player is going to play most likely on the second line with JT Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And here's reason number 65 I could give you, because we didn't get to this yet, of how badly I want them to sign Alex Tuch. And I don't care what the cost is. You put a kid like that on a line with Miller and Tuch, he's protected, because both of those guys will go to war to protect the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have enough offensive ability to play with a kid like that.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of them needs the puck to whether it's McKenna or Stenberg, they can play off the puck too. I would love that. I would love that.
I would not put it past them if they win the draft lottery to make an offer for Tuch.
I think they're going to make an offer.
No.
You don't think they're going to make an offer for Tuch?
You think they're giving him $13, $14 million a
yes.
year?
They have $30 million under the cap.
I don't care. No fucking way am I giving a 30. You're going to give him 8 years at $14 million a year?
13.
$13 million a year? You're
That's
out of
what
your
it
mind.
takes.
Out of your mind. No way.
If you win the lottery,
One, because I'm telling you right now, this is what's going to happen. You ready? They're going to leave out that contract, and you know what's going to happen? McDavid's going to be available.
he's not
Or
leaving.
someone better is going to be available, and you're going to be stuck with this fucking guy who's going to be a freaking shell of himself in 3 years. You're going to be stuck with him for 5 more years after that. And we're going to be right back to where we were. They got to get younger and got to get faster. Only way I would bring Tuck in is if it's for a shorter term deal, say 5 years.
He's not taking that.
$14 million, fine. 5 years, $14 million, and if McKenna's on board.
Oh, and also,
Have both.
so they've capped contracts at 7 years, re-signing your own guy. Is that across the board?
Is that starting this year or is that starting next year?
I thought that's this year.
I think you're right.
So does that mean UFAs are 6 years as a
I have
max?
to get clarification on that. Let me look that up really fast because I'm losing steam here. NHL contract length. This is some strong podcasting right now. Length
This is how we do it.
limit. Let's see.
7 years.
7 years and 6 years. That makes a big difference. So guys, he can't get 6 years. He can't get 8 years anymore. We couldn't get 8 years from us anyway.
Yeah, no, 6 years.
So 6 years. Oh man.
So he's 29, right? He'll be 30 next year, Tuck. So you'd be signing him through 36, which you understand the last 2 years of that contract.
Well, I guess if you look at it
Hit or
from
miss.
this perspective, if you're trading Trocheck, so there's $5 million.
Yeah,
So
Tuck
technically you have $35 million.
Tuck turns 30 during the playoffs next month. So he's still 29. So you're signing
A
him for,
little bit more.
if you figure 5 of the 6 years is what you're signing him for, you're getting ages 30, 31, 32, 33, 34.
You might be right here.
Right. The fact that it's not 8 years anymore,
Yeah. Well, we
or,
wasn't 8
or
years. anyway.
7. I'm saying
It
the
would have
fact
had
that
to have been a sign and trade.
sign and trade, right? But the fact that it won't be a 7-year
But I'm
deal.
wondering if Buffalo can't come to a contract, I'm wondering if they would do a sign and trade with the team, give them 8 years, because I don't think that kicks in until July 1. I wonder if they would do that ahead of time, do a sign and trade.
Effective September 16th of 2026.
Oh, so then you could still give the 7 years now. So this free agency, you could still give 7 years.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Effective September 16th of 26 through the 29-30 season, reduces the maximum contract lengths.
So you could still give players
Yep.
7 years. I didn't read. I should have read. I didn't read all of
Yeah.
it.
Contract signed during, yep. Still follow
not
the old
good.
7-8 rule.
No. To me, I mean, 5 years to me is what I would do. I think there's going to be other, unless he really wants to play here. But I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of teams with cap space down there, Sean. That's the other problem. Is
Yeah, no.
a
You're
ton of teams. Did Puckpedia? Did they change over their thing for next year for everybody?
I haven't checked
know?
yet. I haven't
Because
checked
I'm
yet.
wondering where do we stand as far as where the fortunate part that we have is we have 19 players under contract.
Right.
I mean, we don't really. I mean, Garan's going to sign for the league minimum. Maybe give him a 2-year deal at maybe like 900 and $1 million. Make his AAV like 950. It's still less than you were paying Quick. And then
No, it's still on this year.
What's that?
Everything is still on this year.
Yeah. So I mean, you got other teams with UFAs. We only RFAs. The only thing we have is Schneider and Braden Schneider, and we need a backup goalie. That's
I think
really
it's Garand. I don't see any situation where it's not Garand. I think he won his audition.
I completely agree.
Which begs the question: what would the season have been if they called up Garand instead of Spencer Martin
I
and he
heard
played
you
like
talk
this?
about that. Well, I mean, like, he was brutal in the preseason. But so was
He
Jonathan Quick.
was.
So was Jonathan Quick his first year, if you remember.
Yeah.
God awful preseason.
But I mean, if Grant had played like this, he would have gotten a lot more starts. He probably would have played more than Quick.
One more
It would have
game.
saved Quick.
I think they did us a favor by having Spencer Martin play. That we
Well,
have
for
a top
the-
5 pick.
Yeah, for the draft pick wise, yes.
Spencer Martin. Both Quick and Spencer Martin were brutal.
They were.
They
Well,
were
Quick played too much. He played too much. He didn't have the week off to let his body
I mean,
recover.
Quick. I mean, look at Quick down the stretch. I mean, he was great when he was only playing like here and there.
Right.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he can't play more than
He could have probably played next year, but not here. And I don't think he wanted to go anywhere else.
that's
He'll
probably
have a
the
job
other part of it.
organization, and honestly, I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, it'd be great. He'd
I
be
wouldn't
great
mind
at
that.
it. Yeah.
He won me over. He
Same.
won me over. I think he won you over. I
He
mean,
did.
you and I have had this conversation. Listen, I was, say, 60-40 happy that they lost that game, but I felt bad for him. I felt like he deserved better than that. And the team tried. They pushed.
Yeah.
They tried. They tried to win the game for the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
which was crazy to me was how that game was only 3-2. Florida had nobody dressed, and you couldn't beat that team. I was after the game when I saw Stan Bennett in street clothes and Barkov and Mikula and this guy and that guy. I'm like, well, who the hell played? Like, how did they not beat this team?
Hold on. I'll read off the.
Dude, there were guys out there that I had never. The guy that scored the 2 goals for them, I have never heard of.
Cole Reinhardt.
Never heard of him. Is he related to Paul?
No relation.
Colton Reinhardt? To Griffin Reinhardt?
Or Sam Reinhardt.
Sam Reinhardt? He didn't play. Well, he played. Sam Reinhardt played. Right? He played that game.
So the guy who led them in minutes was Marek Alshner,
Okay.
Michael Benning, Tobias Bjornfoot, who can never even crack the lineup, Donovan Sobragno, Tarasov in net, Ludwig Janssen,
You love Johnson.
Vinny Hinostroza,
He had like
Cole-
every Swedish player on the planet playing for them that night.
pretty much, Cole Schwint, Jesper Boquist, Thomas Nosek,
How did they not beat that team?
Wilmer Skoog,
Oh my God!
Luke Kunin, Noah Gregor.
If Luke Kunin, if I'm quick, I know why I freaking stormed off the ice. How do you have every healthy player, you have nobody injured, and you couldn't beat that Florida team?
Forsling played just under 14 minutes.
That's insane.
AJ Greer, who's usually plays in the top, plays on their team, played 13 minutes.
Fourth line player.
Yeah, but he played 13 minutes. Samiskevich played 11 minutes. Nolan Foote played 10 minutes.
Unbelievable.
That was it.
That team.
That's amazing. That really is amazing that that's the lineup.
And they
Now you-
couldn't beat that team.
No?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But then they go out and beat Minnesota.
Now the Rangers only allowed 16 shots on goal.
And they go out and beat they beat a Detroit team that needs that game to win to stay in the playoff race. And they go out and beat the Capitals who need, but yet they can't beat this. Doesn't that just blow your mind?
They totally outplayed Florida.
Both of those,
Yeah,
still didn't win. So only scored 2 goals.
yeah,
That's how they were all season, Sean.
yeah.
When the games were important, they could not find the offense. So, whatever. It is what it is. Like I said,
It's Daniil
this
Tarasov, baby.
offseason's going to either be we haven't seen an offseason since I was thinking about this before, and I meant to bring this up to you. The last true offseason, we really saw moves. Now, they haven't had cap space.
Right,
Was the Panarin offseason.
right.
That's the last year where you could say, wow, that was monumental. That's the best offseason I have ever seen in Rangers
Fox,
history.
Trouba,
Panarin.
Panarin.
They trade VC. They bring it. Shurkin signs. Kravtsov signs. Davidson's brought in. it was
Yeah.
just like boom, 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 boom. It was like
Totally
one
different team,
move
right.
after another. VC out. I mean, it was just like nonstop.
So
Nonstop.
can we get something like that this year?
I don't know. Listen, they haven't done it. So until we see that, I have to try to, and I'm going to mean this when I say it and not give my whole reverse psychology. I will will believe it when it happens.
Right.
Because we have not seen this GM be creative.
But we both know, and he's admitted that status quo is not going to be acceptable. Like, they're not running it back. They wrote a letter saying they're not running it back.
I'm wondering if he does not get what he wants for a Trocheck, for a Braden Schneider, and they come back, that's running it back. Right? I mean, they're going to have to get rid of guys because, I mean, obviously now the bottom six, and they talk about bringing in bottom six players. Where are they playing?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair.
Wait, hold on. He never said that these bottom six players would be playing in the bottom six.
Very true. And to be fair, if they don't bring in an impact player or two, Will Cooley's playing in your top six.
Can't have that.
Right?
Can't have that.
Well, honestly, Sean,
to me, he's a plus on a third line, and he's a negative on a second line.
He's a trade chip.
No, he's not. Yes, don't get me wrong. Right, if someone values him as a top six guy and is going to pay you at that value point, then sure. Because to me, he's a very good. He profiles to me as someone I'd love on my team for the next 10 years as a third line guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can win a cup with him on your third line.
100%. But can you win a cup with him on your second line?
No, unless the other two guys are great. Sure, if he's the third guy.
He didn't really start picking up his offense until the last 10 games too.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a hat trick. That's really what got him to 20 goals.
Which you don't take away from him, but
no,
yeah.
I'm not.
No.
And I'm not. And
I
I've
get it.
done that in the past where I said Marian Gaborik scored, 20 goals one season or his middle season, and he had a 4-goal game and 3 hat tricks, and he scored all his goals in essentially 4 games. But I mean, you don't take that away from the guy. The guy still scored the goals, but
right.
You'd like the production to be spread out a little bit more.
Right.
Panarin's been great in the playoffs, PS. I mean, on a sidebar. I mean, they say he's been fantastic in the playoffs.
He's got 2 goals. He's got their only 2 goals, but he's got 2 goals.
Well, they're not beating that team anyway.
No.
They're going to steamroll through everybody. If Colorado doesn't win the cup this year, Sean, I mean, unless the Western Conference teams just completely kick the crap out of each other after this round, I can't. I mean, none of these Eastern Conference teams even sniff.
So
none of them.
The only team I put a wager on was Vegas, and I put the wager on Vegas the day after Tortorella was hired.
Not a bad bet.
You knew that would be the easiest path would be through the Pacific.
Mm-hmm. What's that Dallas, Minnesota? I know they were tied. The series was tied at 1. Are they playing tonight?
They're playing tonight.
Okay.
Tied in the middle, toward the end of the second period, tied up at 2-2.
I mean, you're not surprised about fucking Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, I am.
Down 3-0?
Yeah, that's surprising. I get it. Philly was red hot going into the playoffs, and they're riding that.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid Porter Martone is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. And that's another big thing. Look what happens when you inject youth into your lineup. Yeah, you've seen it.
When I saw that, Sean, Kreider popped right in my brain.
Yeah.
I said Kreider was the reason why that team won in 2012. I will take that to my grave.
Yeah.
I was at 90% of those playoff games. He was a bull in a china shop in those series. And the same thing in 2014. They were dead in the water against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
He comes back, the whole series fucking changed.
Yep.
The whole series changed. So you have those guys that have this intangible about them, and the Rangers need to find a guy like that again. They need to go out and find another player that, you know what? Maybe he doesn't have the greatest Maybe he only puts up 25 goals or 20 goals in the regular season. But when the playoffs come, the guy is friggin' Wayne Gretzky. And you know what? That's what they
that's
need.
my
They need
hope.
those type of guys.
That's my hope with a guy like Wild Bill, or maybe even an Adam Sikora. Oh, Will Cooley to me is what I call him, Wild Bill.
Well, we haven't seen them yet, so we have to listen.
But
Drury's a coward for multiple reasons, but for him to not say, "I expect this team to be in the playoffs next year," or "I expect them to say nothing,"
or you wouldn't put the timeline out there.
I mean, why wouldn't you say we have the talent on this team? Because he is a fucking coward.
Okay.
You don't think Glenn Sather or Messier said, "I expect this team with the talent we have, we're going to be healthy. Hopefully, we're healthy again. We have the goaltending, we have the defense, we have the talent on this team to be a playoff team." For him to come out and say nothing is a fucking coward. He is a fucking coward. And it's starting to catch on about the whole coward thing that I've been calling him for fucking 3 years.
You have been calling him that, yes.
God, I fucking hate him. Listen, I don't miss bad on anybody, but if he got fired tomorrow, I would be in my fucking glory.
A lot of people would.
He's awful. He's fucking awful.
Until the next guy takes over.
He makes you long. Did you ever think, and I said this earlier, would you ever think you long for Glenn Sather?
I like Sather.
Me too. But there's a whole fan base that hated him, including our friends at BSU. They would drive Sather they would pick up Sather from the airport if they could, and they hated him. They had a rally for him, with him to have him fired. They would trade Sather. They would trade Drury for Sather tonight. They would drive to the airport and pick him up in a stretch limo. They give him champagne, caviar, escargot, whatever he wanted. I'm telling you, there is a contingency of this fan base that hated Glenn Sather.
Just got the visual of Jim driving a stretch limo, pulling up. The door opens and it's Eddie just playing with his chin goatee.
I knew you'd be.
Hello, Glenn. Slats, get in here, Slats.
Oh my God! You have to see if you can pull that and send it to them, like a clip or something. That'd be
Oh,
funny.
if I could do that on AI.
Yeah.
I'm not that gifted with AI.
No, how do you pull like the little snippets from the show, and then post them on YouTube?
Oh, on this.
Yeah.
Or AI generates them. I don't get a choice of what
okay. I thought they did.
They'll do like 20 of them throughout.
Dude, that would be freaking hilarious. But yeah, it's listen, I'm just hoping. I mean, can it get any worse? I mean, I thought last season was bad, but this season was much worse than last year. Because at least last year they were competitive, like up until like almost the end.
In the standings.
Yeah.
But I saw
they were toast.
But we left off last year, and this is, I guess we'll finish with this.
Yeah, let's do that because
I know.
a drunk shot.
Same. Allergies are killing me.
Oh yeah.
Last year we left off with everything's there, and now Miller's here, and that's what's going to the new coach in Miller. That's what's going to drive us into next year, and that was my optimism, and that was probably optimism for a lot of people, but
not me.
There wasn't any actual, like you said, it was running it back. There was no actual change to the team.
Nothing.
This year,
Miller was out. That's it.
Think of how many people contributed this year that weren't on the team. And I don't mean Perot playing 5 games last year. I mean guys who weren't really, Perot, Fortescue, Himalash, Sikora, Ty Cartier. It's 5 just right off the top of my head. Noah Lava, 6.
Yeah.
The defenseman, Robertson, Fortescue. It's on and on and on. Like literally almost half the roster is young kids that were not on this team last year.
Right.
So that's a building block. And then you had Zibanejad resurgence. Miller.
He doesn't get enough credit for that. And
he had a great year, Zibanejad.
He had a great year. And he had every reason, Sean, he had every reason to sulk and to cry and to be upset All his buddies were traded. All his friends were gone. And what he did was he put his head down and he just fucking played.
Played
Just
well.
played, and he played great. And I was on him, and I owe him an apology. I wanted him gone. He wants to be here. He's doing what he can to get the team where they need to be. He wants to be part of the solution. He says he wants to be part of the solution. And you know what? Whether he is or not, we're going to find out. But
Right.
he's given us everything he's got. And that's all you can ask for from a player is the effort, right?
It's
You
all
only do so much.
right. And you're getting the effort from him every
Well,
night.
like I said about the team is I told you, I said, where are the goals coming from? And I said, you got rid of Kreider. Who's scoring? Like
Right.
you wanted more out of Lafreniere. Panarin was giving you exactly what he gave you the year before. So you can't get on him. He
Right.
gave you the offense. He was contributing. Mika was contributing. But nobody else was, and that was the problem. You know, Trocheck got hurt,
Right.
and that's let's call it what it was. It was a absolute snowball starting from the game against Buffalo straight through. Because
Starting from opening night. No, it was opening
hurt.
night.
This
Opening
guy
night.
gets hurt. Miller's not 100%, and there's the season.
It started opening night. And
I know she lost.
you
You said if he
no,
would've
no,
scored one goal against Pittsburgh,
if they would have gotten one meaningless goal at the end of the game, the narrative changes and they don't put so much pressure. It was the
and they got
accumulation
goalied.
of
They
the
got
year.
goalied against Stuart Skinner. They got goalied against Charlie
Right.
Lindgren. Honestly, on and on and on.
And it got in their heads.
Right.
And it's historic. It's not just like, hey, it was a few games and it was this. It became a historic thing. And it's
Well,
like,
they didn't have a problem scoring against Charlie Lindgren when the games didn't matter.
they didn't have a problem scoring on the road.
Goals.
They didn't have a problem scoring on the road. It had nothing to do with Charlie Lindgren. It was just, it got in their heads.
That's not good.
But I think it would have happened I think once that happened, again, it was a snowball from last year into this year.
Right.
Like that's why I really say it. If they got one goal on opening night,
Right. Well, if they got one goal, even the
We're not
next
ha-
night, even the
we're
next
not having
night,
the conversation. That conversation never
went-
becomes a
what
thing.
happened was it went from one game to 2 games to 3 games,
Right.
and then then they
Barstool's talking about it, and then
Everybody.
ESPN picked up on
well they were lucky they went on a little bit of a run to end the year at home. They didn't break that record.
Emily
Like,
Kaplan.
it's
Emily Kaplan was running out of hair to pull out of her head thinking about this.
I know,
There was only a few strands left.
I know, poor thing.
Yeah, it was, and then again, right, the injuries,
Yeah,
guys playing that weren't healthy, and
they were definitely not this bad. They were not third worst record
No,
in the NHL.
no.
Bid.
At the Winter Classic, they were 2 points out of the
But look
playoffs.
at Florida, Sean. I mean, they had a shit ton of injuries too, and look where they are.
They were 2 points out of the playoffs at the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
2 points.
Seth Jones was another guy that didn't play for Florida that night either. I'm just saying, like,
The entire team didn't play.
just look at all these teams.
Yeah.
Take what's this called out of it? Take the Chicago's and Vancouver and Calgary. They're and Seattle. Those teams are all bad. But I mean, Toronto, they've had injuries all year.
Right.
Florida has had injuries all year. The Rangers had injuries all year. All 3 of those teams, older players.
Injuries.
Now you see where we stand.
Right.
You know, and obviously we know Nashville and
But now-
the teams, older
Both-
teams.
Guys that you would expect to be back here next year. I mean, obviously you have Zibanejad's going to be
All the
30.
no movement clause guys,
Right.
except for Trocheck, obviously. Well, he's on no movement.
But you got Lafreniere 24, Fox 27, Cooley 20. I'm reading their ages this year. 24, 27, 23, 20, 22, 27. That's Radish if he's back.
Mhm.
24, 24, 24, 22, 23, 25, 21, 20. Like it's not it's a young team with a couple of veterans now,
Right.
as opposed to it being a veteran team with a couple of kids.
I think Radish is going to get an opportunity. I guess it's all going to be contingent on who they bring in.
Right.
But I think Radish is going to get an opportunity to play in the bottom 6. And if he doesn't make the team, He's going to get Parsoned to Hartford.
And that's fine. You said it when he was signed, though. That the contract is variable.
Same thing with Vakanainen. Same thing. I don't know what they're going to do with Iorio. I don't know. I don't think they gave that kid. I don't think they gave that guy a fair shake. I thought he was great in some of the games he played, but again, I think they thought they were trading Braden Schneider. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, why the hell did you bring this guy in here? You already had.
Because he's got some talent. That's why you brought him in.
Play him.
Over who? Over who? They're stocked up on the right side. Morrow couldn't even get in.
You need to play Borgen and Schneider every game.
Because you're not taking them out of the lineup. If they're guys who are on your team, they're veteran players.
Next year. It's about the year after. You couldn't let them sit one game? They were playing well?
They don't want to sit.
Okay. I guess. You're right.
Veterans want to play, you got to play them.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I just, to me,
I get it.
Let guys ride on the bench.
And if I'm sitting there and I'm playing a video game and I want to build up their XP stats, their attributes.
I guess with them, that's the crazy part. Now they were healthy. Now nobody got hurt.
Right.
The last 20 games of the season, nobody got hurt. I just incredible. When you wanted guys to maybe get hurt so that other guys can get in the lineup, everybody was healthy, especially on the blue line. Nobody got hurt. Well, Vakanainen got hurt.
That's fine.
He was it. He was the only one. And you wanted a right-handed shot guy to get hurt. Anyway.
It is what it is.
Good show.
Yes.
Did almost 2 hours. My throat is fried.
Same.
I can't talk anymore.
Same.
We'll figure out maybe doing something. I don't know if you want to wait till we'll do maybe just wait till the draft lottery.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about between now and the lottery.
And then, obviously we'll do something the night of the draft lottery.
Yep.
Jump on. And that's it.
Sounds good.
All right, pal.
Later, guys.
Later.